Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Welcome to our latest Dining and Doodles. As always, this is I, coming in and treating everything as always. We're going to be doing a request. These are request drawings, as always. We get these requests usually through DeviantArt, but if you have a request that you want added on from this stream, we absolutely take them. Hey! Just drop a line in the comments. You can leave the comment in the chat if you're watching live, or if you are not watching live, you can just comment in below on the comments of the stream. We'll keep an eye out. Of course, this streams across multiple platforms, both Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, all live, and then it later goes on to our Rumble site as well. This week we had a request to do 2 characters in one, and that's about it. They only gave us that. Now, this was by somebody who's been requesting a lot of feet drawings, so I wanted to make sure we gave them the feet. And this one, because, yeah, they have a thing for feet. But we are just going to do sort of a poll. I mean, it's the unofficial start to summer. Why not enjoy it? Let's have a poll out there and enjoy it. And so that's what we're doing today. We are having a pool episode of sorts, with our characters that we're drawing today, which are Kitty Pryde from Xmen Evolution, the, I guess, 2000s? Like, right on the cusp of 2000s. Animated series, and Chaotic. I don't know exactly when Chaotic started, but we, you know, this is the second time we're drawing Sarah from Chaotic for this person. So it's not exactly all that rare. As always, we kind of did a sketch beforehand, so we get our idea out so we can get the drawing done. And I've been playing with, we literally just updated ClipPaint Studio. I thank ClipPaint Studio for finally doing another update, and they're always awesome. We use, of course, ClipPaint EXE. So, I mean, we're using the most advanced version of ClipPaint when we're doing work, so if you're wondering, hey, what's the program you're using? What's the, how you get these drawings the way they do? It's ClipPaint. It's literally ClipPaint. is probably one of the best if you're going to do manga or comic work. Is probably one of the best tools. I mean, a lot of people use Photoshop, but Photoshop doesn't have the setup quite like ClipPaint. And I gotta give them a shout out. They're not a sponsor, but I'm gonna give them a shout out anyway, because I've loved them, and it's their 10-year anniversary of this version, and I gotta say, I've loved all 10 years of using it. It's been absolutely a dream, and while there have been issues with some of the tech, I've absolutely enjoyed ClipPaint, and it's just like doing art on a piece of paper, in my opinion. I still have my light table literally feet from me. It's the old traditional way of doing animation and whatnot, so I have a little light table to work from. But yeah, I mean, we do things here. I could do physical paper, but I mean, we don't really have the camera set up for it, so we're going to do the characters digitally. Now, I did have an image to kind of work from with Kitty Pryde in a bathing suit. I don't have one from Sarah, so we're kind of going by on the sort of the fly with the characters and how they look in bathing suits. Apparently Kitty Pryde, which I'm not too sure, shocked, because I watched the Evolution series all the way through, probably in syndication, because it was a decent show. I'm not gonna argue. I mean, it was a decent, enjoyable X-Men series. And I mean, Kitty Pryde, a lot of people loved Kitty Pryde, and they've loved her for years. Not my favorite X-Men character. I always felt she kind of was too much of the ditzy nerd girl. More so in the comics than and she was in the series. I mean, I guess she's played more and more of a instructor roles these years. I've never really been a huge Kitty Pryde fan. I like her power. I do like her power. But I've never just been a Kitty Pryde fan. But we're just going to be working on this bit. And in case you're wondering, what's that on the side? Yes, that is Demon Blade issue 9. Issue 8 ended this week. If you tuned in and are wondering, what we're going to be doing with Demon Blade today, I don't know if we're going to do anything. We'll see if we got some time left over today. But we did have issue 8 come out, so I'm working on issue 9. I don't want to spoil too much of the beginning because, well, it is something of note that occurs in the beginning. Something of note that'll carry through for quite a while in the series. Happens in the beginning of chapter 9. So I'm not gonna spoil too much. I might show you what I've been working on today, which is the second page. But the first page is already done and available for for our Patreons and for people who are subscribed through our DeviantArt account. How does her hair go on the ends? Is it literally just 2 strands? Okay. Thousands, animation. Trying to make it look cool and edgy. I think it was the end of the cool and edgy time of animation. I think between Evolution and there was a He-Man, and then there was a secondary version of, was it Thundercats at the time, all tried to do the edgy, dark story. I mean, we're kind of going back to, you're either getting the edgy, we're kind of going back to that concept these days in art. You're kind of either going edgy and dark with the story, or with a character and story, or you're kind of going to, let's see, I guess, probably Avatar, the Airbender, Legend of Korra probably was the end of the sort of edgy art series. Because I think after that we pretty much were into the Steven Universe, you know, Adventure Time and whatnot era, where it was more comedic and sweet and wholesome, not real edgy story arcs of animation and cartoons. But, I mean, that's what we're doing. And we got a little bit of a background music today. I thought about adding one. It's been a while. We took one off because we kept getting copyright notices on our music that we just have playing in the background. We just have something silly and stupid playing in the background. And, you know, if we get a copyright, you know, notice on this, we'll stop using it again. I don't know. We'll see. But we just wanted something silly and quiet. Play through while we do these streams. As I announced yesterday on our Let's Play stream, we're going to be doing a special stream tomorrow. We're returning back to the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Sundays streams. Tomorrow, well, not officially tomorrow, but on Sundays, we're going to return to that on Sundays, 8 p.m. to midnight streams for our run-through. We are going to be doing, continuing our playthrough of Fallout New Vegas on Sundays. But tomorrow we're going to be doing a 6-hour stream. We're going to be doing an extra long stream for Memorial Day. I'm going to try and get to the war memorials in Fallout. We're going to be honoring, honoring fake troopers on a day of honoring real troopers and whatnot. So we're going to be doing that, well, in honor of. Monday, I was thinking of whether or not I'd do a stream. I still don't know if I will. Partly because we have the anime stream as well on Monday. So we're going to be doing anime, forget what it's, Animazing stream again. Where we're going to be talking about Zetsuba Sensei. We kind of talked about it a little bit last week on the stream. I'm going to be finishing it up probably after the stream tonight, because I literally have one episode to go, which is the last of the 12. After that, we are, and I had to question because I was like, I forgot we did have something on the line. We're going to be doing Madoka Magica next week, or next month. So we're going to be going into that Twisted Magical Girl anime. That is Madoka Magica, and the evil that is Kyubi. I've watched it before. It's been a few, maybe 2-3 years since I've watched it. It's a good series. We're gonna also be watching the movies on Movies Galore. I don't know when that is. I'll probably come in on those Movies Galore episodes. Because I tend to come in on the animated ones when we do animation and whatnot. But we'll be discussing those and how twisted the story is. I'd like to know how she gets her freaking hair this way. She has this sort of hair bun into hair ponytail. I have long hair, and it's a pain in the ass to get the hair bun. I don't know how she gets the hair bun into the hair ponytail. That's gotta be, you know, down to your feet hair. Because I have hair that goes down my back. Lengthwise. And, I mean, it's a pain in the ass to get, you know, the hair to stay the way you want. Well, again, I got curly hair. I have naturally curly hair. It's a pain in the ass. This time of year, there's almost nothing I can do with it. I use a flattener, and it'll just come out and just flat out, poof, the moment I step outside. But we're going into summer. We're going into the heat. At least for, I guess, half the globe. Maybe more. I don't know if the upper half is more dense. Oh, I guess it is more densely populated than the lower half. Because you got India, China, and then America all are the top populated countries. So I guess the upper half is more populated than the lower half of the world. But if you're in Australia or in New Zealand or one of those countries, you know, give me a shout out. I'd love to hear from people from some of the countries out that way. I've had shout outs from people in Bosnia. We've had shout outs from people elsewhere. You know, give me a shout out where you're at. Love to hear from people from other countries. We're just having a nice, relaxing stream this time. Nothing really of note. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing this, why you're seeing sort of the feet cut off, when you see a picture of water, the surface of the water is going to distort the part of it. So we're going to actually get a reflection sort of where the feet aren't fully being seen. They're coming in separately. So that's why you're kind of like, well, why is there's a segment here missing from their feet? And it's like, or their legs. There's part of the reason. Alright, let's... do that there. And bring this on down. While I have done some drawing today for Demon Blade, most of the day I've been sleeping. My schedule changed again. The job I was doing, which was a temp job, came to an end literally Thursday of this week. So that's kind of why the schedule is changing again. I'm still trying to find other work, preferably more permanent base than this temporary work that I've been getting. But hey, I mean, do what you got, you know? That's a really, really bad leg. There we go. Alright, we're gonna go a little thicker there, because she is out. There we go. Why not just have, you know, a nice relaxing image of the pool? You know, hey, I don't know about you, but I enjoy the pool. I love to swim. This kind of year, unfortunately this year, I think a lot of people are going to be missing the pool because of, there is the shortage of everything, and one of the shortages is of chlorine. So pools aren't going to be open, or some pools aren't going to open because of that. And it's going to make summer suck this year. I mean, it really is. I mean, I don't know if you enjoy the pool like I do, but I've always enjoyed the pool. I don't like the sunbathing as much as I enjoy the swimming. I'm sort of that fish out of water. I'd go with friends, I'd always be in the pool swimming. They'd be, out sunbathing or enjoying it. Be like, you're at the pool, get in the water. Come on, enjoy the water. Now, given there have been days as it's freaking freezing, and it'd be, and even days this week have been freezing. I don't know if I'd want to jump in the water today, in some places, but I mean, around here I think it's like 90. Let me see what today's been. 73 now. It went down from 78. It's okay. It's gonna be a bit chilly, pool-wise. But I mean, hey, you gotta enjoy it sometime. And I think probably, one of the issues, I'm gonna go ahead and say, one of the issues as a trans person, one of the problems is going out in the swimsuit. And I went out, I think the first few times I would go in a swimsuit, I'd always wear my shirt. I'd wear a t-shirt. I think I wore a sports bra for a while too. And just wore some bottoms or something. But I mean, these days I have a nice swimsuit. I don't know if I'd fit in it right now because I haven't done it since COVID weight. But yeah, I've never really been able to get rid of the COVID weight, to be honest. Trying, but working on it. La da 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 da. This is also kind of the awkwardness that I'm doing Sarah's hair on the opposing side that I'm seeing it. So I'm trying to, given the cartoon way would be just to flip it. But I kind of want to keep it as her hair's long on one side. And that side we're drawing. So we're going to be showing it a bit. So it's nice little calm drawing today. Alright. Bring the hair on over. Question if the same studio did this series. Because they do have a similar build and look. Now, Chaotic, as we discussed last time we did it kind of switched to the Aaron E. Assurance look. And I always call it that. If you don't know what Assurance was, it was this cartoon, very stylistic cartoon character that sold insurance for about maybe 5 years before Assurance went under. And they used this cartoon female to promote it. female spy-esque character. I never quite understood what she was supposed to be. Which I think is probably part of your problem, is you're selling it. Now, given, not to say the lizard helps at all with Geico, but, I guess people identify with the lizard somehow. I don't know. Or is he supposed to be a lizard, or is he supposed to be a salamander? I never understood. The lore of mascots, you know? Absolutely, the lore of mascots. Should I give a damn about them? No, probably not. I mean, what the hell's Charlie Tuna doing these days, yeah? If you don't know who Charlie Tuna is, then, well, you're quite young. Well, not you're quite young. You're younger than, or you haven't learned what tuna, what was it? Was it Bumblebee tuna? No, it wasn't Bumblebee tuna. It was the other brand of tuna. See, I don't eat tuna, so I can't really say which brands of tuna there are. But I mean, you have, it's not Bumblebee, it's the other one. It's Sunkissed, I think, is probably it. But they had a talking tuna fish as their mascot, and his name was Charlie. I don't know if he still exists in their product category. It's questionable, you know. I know he had sort of that, a little bit of that Sammy Davis vibe. At least when I was growing up, and they did commercials with him, he had Sammy Davis vibe. Which was like the, hey babe, how's it going? It's Charlie Tuna. We're gonna be talking about tuna fish and enjoying the tuna. Hey, babe. So I don't know if that's still a thing. Surely with Me Too, I don't think it would have survived. Damien, hey, how's it going? Damien, do you know Charlie Tuna? I see the voice is working. Yes, I spent the afternoon trying to get the audio working for here. I found the problem. It literally was a different program we had plugged in was causing the error, and we got it fixed. So, we worked on it. I was like, well, why is it working on all the other all the other streams and not this one? Like, okay, it's just the way we set up this stream. So, we got it fixed, so from now on, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 glitches, we should not have any more voice issues. Let's see here. Leg. Now, I kind of already did a little bit of the background today. So what were you asking me? Do you know Charlie Tuna? I want to know, you know, for some reason the food mask, I know the damn crappy food animation, 3D animation of the food that mascots had them. But are you aware of Charlie Tuna? Am I dating myself with knowing this character? Yes, okay, good. The Sunkissed mascot. Alright, good. So I'm not dating myself too much. Alright. I didn't know if he was still... or Starkissed, yes. Not the Sunkissed. Sunkissed is orange juice. Which I don't think they have a mascot. They may, I don't know. I don't know if we have a talking orange for Sunkissed out there. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't alone in the mascot issues. I everybody kind of knows Mr. Peanut. Mr. Peanut's still around. Is Poppin' Fresh Doughboy still around? I don't know. I've not seen a Pillsbury commercial. And he's still on the product. Or last I saw, but I don't know if I've seen anything with the Poppin' Fresh anymore. Sunkissed is orange soda. There's no mascot for it. Okay. I've not had Sunkissed in so long either. I can't have tuna. I can have it a little bit here and there because I'm not terribly allergic to it, but I remember buying, you know, tuna fish. I'd buy Bumblebee or or Starcurse Kissed. Whichever one was, you know, cheapest. I know you probably shouldn't do that because there's the whole threat of the dolphins and the nets business, and but I mean, I can't eat seafood anyway, so I mean, I don't really enjoy it that much. I mean, we talked about it a little bit last night on the stream, and we got the garlic shrimp as being the Hawaiian delicacy in Persona 5 Royale. Which is really dumb because it's not a Hawaiian delicacy. Also don't know, but for some reason when I brought up Starkist, it brought up the movie Food Fight. That's because that's I think the last place he was seen was in the movie Food Fight, which was the mascot movie, and it was horrible. Yeah, he was one of the main mascots in the movie, and I don't know why we had a movie about television mascots, but we had one. I guess maybe because it's, you know, sticks in people's heads, but maybe I need to bring that up for Movies Galore. If that comes up with my list, maybe I'll make us watch Food Fight. Watch one of the worst CGI animated films, professionally CGI animated films of all time. Maybe that'll be on my list. I don't really have a list because I'm sort of a guest star. I'm not really, you know, a regular on the series. I'm a regular on the anime group, but I'm not a regular on the Movies Galore group. But like I said, we're gonna be doing Magical Madoka next month. I know a lot of people make requests from that series for characters in the past. So I mean, it's one I know I've had a lot of requests for. And I feel sorry for the characters when I draw them because it's like, oh, this poor character, I remember how they died. Not a very pleasant magical girl anime out of that. Not the weirdest magical girl anime I've seen, but definitely one of the darkest ones I've seen. That's for sure. And I will be revisiting it and reliving it. But we were, like I said, we're currently revisiting Setsuba Sensei. This week, we'll be doing that review. Those who don't know, I'll kind of go over it a bit. We kind of went over it a little bit last week, but we'll go over it again. Setsuba Sensei is a dark comedy of the 2000s of the anime. It's very, very wordy. It's a word-heavy one. A lot of people were noting in our group that they had to keep stopping to read the jokes, and not all the jokes translate. So there's a lot of reading, at least, especially in the first few episodes. of that series. And I mean not just subtitles, because it's only available in sub. But I mean in just like the words of the around the board, around, you know, the chalkboard changes every cut, behind it, and it's literally a high school, a bit of harem anime, dark comedy series. Because the main character is a teacher who wants to die, who has bad fortunes, bad luck. And the secondary main character is the overly positive student, overly optimistic student. So it's the reverse of him. And it's just nonsense, is all the show is. It's just weekly nonsense. Two of the people are like, oh, this is their favorite comedy series of all time. Me, it's an okay comedy series, but I mean, anime-wise, they're better comedy series. I always give credit to Gintama for a great comedy series. And we watched Konosuba last month. We gave that a, you know, I hold that as a great comedy series. But yeah, we're gonna be going from a comedy to a very, very dark anime. In a sense, it's gonna be cutesy and girly, and then gets very, very freaking dark. I was questioning because I was like, hey, you know, I'd love to bring something different. I didn't want to do another comedy this today, or this next month. And I was like, I want to do something a little bit more dark, or a little more enjoyable than just some crappy comedy. Or another season of another comedy. Because we did 2 seasons of, we did the full show of Honey and Clover back a few months ago, or 2 months ago, and if you caught our stream there, I had issues with it. It was one of those shows that, over time, in my opinion, got worse. Not to say Zetsu's gotten any better over time. It's kind of not. It's kind of a lot of, you know, the jokes are... It's not they're dated, they're less appropriate these days. There are some shows that I'm definitely going to be pointing out that, you know, what people hate about, Konosuba with darkness, in Zetsubo Sensei, it's tenfold. And so, I mean, it's definitely more in that series. Because, I mean, there's literally a character who is nothing but a trope. That she is just, literally a sex object. That is literally her character. Written down and worded in the series. That is her character. And I mean, basically any of the female characters are a sex joke in that series. And there's a lot of female characters. Do I have a different opinion of harem animes these days than I used to? I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Urusei Yatsura, or Lum, as some people dub it. And it is Lum, not Loom, as I heard today, from one streamer. It's coming out this season with a re-release, sort of. And it's a series I never would have thought, out of all the shows to come out again these days, I never would have thought Urusei Yatsura would come back out. Because it's one of those series, it's kind of like if I brought Ranma 1/2 back these days, or if we brought Ranma 1/2 back these days, you know, a lot of the jokes in Ranma 1/2 would not play these days. And it's by the same creators, Ranma 1/2 and whatnot. It's her first real series to take off. And I mean, with credit, I mean, Rumiko Takahashi is, you know, she's fading as a artist as she's getting up there in age. I mean, she's been doing it longer than I've been alive. Doing manga since 1976. So pretty much since my brother was alive, she's been doing the comics. So, I mean, you gotta give her respect, and she's done some on top of another. So I mean, I'd love to see Maison Koku, which is one of her better normal-esque series, and I have to say normal-esque because there's nothing fantastical, there's no magical element in the series. It's just a romantic comedy, with a little bit more, you know, raunchy humor here and there. As Takahashi kind of was the one to kind of bring in the raunchy humor, as in anime. So I mean, basically, if you're wondering who did it, it's the Queen of Comics. She's pretty much did it. So, and yes, her term is the Queen of Comics. So I mean, it's nice seeing this come through. When I was in high school, Ranma 1/2 came to an end. And then when I was in college, she started with Urusei Yatsura, Inuyasha. And I was into Inuyasha at the beginning. Because I wanted to see her redo another series, kind of like her series, Mermaid Scar. I liked Mermaid Scar. It's not as popular as most of her series. Or Mermaid Forest, as the series was called. The movie Mermaid Scar is probably one of my favorite Takahashi non-Ranma 1/2 shows, films. I mean, Beautiful Dreamer, though, Lum also is not a bad one. It's a great film if you want to see it. It's probably the only dubbed Urusei Yatsura film, maybe only dubbed Urusei Yatsura anime at the time, because I imagine this new series is going to get dubbed. Imagine it'll be probably picked up by Crunchyroll or by Netflix. And get dubbed, because it's Takahashi. You don't doubt that a Takahashi is going to succeed. It's kind of like saying, if Oda came out with another series, you know, would Oda's name not be as good later? I'd be like, no, it's Oda. The man's oversold a lot of books, you know. You give them the shot. It's the only way to equate it would be in America if McFarlane came out with a new series after Spawn. I don't know if McFarlane's done any new series after Spawn. You'd give him a shot. McFarlane. The dude created one of the best characters in the 90s. I wouldn't say so much with Miller, because Miller's kind of questionable, especially since the war on terrorism. He's kind of been questionable with his attitudes. But you give it a shot, you know. Alright, her hair needs to go differently. We need to do something with the back there. We might be doing something with Demon Blade. I swear, it's going a lot faster than I thought it would. Tonight, considering we're doing 2 characters. We still gotta do amazing background. I'm gonna do I got a pretty good idea for background in this one. Oh, hold on. Alright, we need to do something with her legs. I'm gonna fix her mouth. I don't like the way her mouth is, so we're gonna do something with the mouth. Let's see here. Let me know if you like this music too. If you like music and have the music in the background, just during the stream, you know, bring a little new tone into our creation here. Brings us something new and enjoyable, I guess. Gotta give her thick triangle eyebrows. She's got. Alright, let's do. Bring that on in. There's something wrong with that mouth there. Let's see here. Let me see her mouth again. Okay. Pursed lips, but, let's see here. Let's curl them up. Let's do that. Will we do anything else this week? We might do something. I'm kind of feeling, you know, it's one of those weeks where people are getting out of school. We're gonna have our summer group and whatnot. So I mean, if people want to see some of the new art or something, a new, you know, us do a video game popular. I'm thinking of doing Ni no Kuni as well, maybe, because I've never played Ni no Kuni. And we've got Ni no Kuni Crossroads. I'm gonna see if I can get that pulled up on probably one of our systems instead of doing it through the computer. And we might do that as a playthrough as well. Just during the summer, just do some playthrough of Ni no Kuni. Bring this on through. We've got an opening over here on the foot. Okay. Let's see one of it. Alright. And like I said, I might do something on Memorial Day. It'd be during the day. If we do something. I'm not too sure. I haven't fully planned anything. Those who don't know, here in the U.S., we have Memorial Day on Monday, here, which is the day to honor the soldiers that have passed. And people always get it mixed up. It is that. It's the concept. It's the day you honor the soldiers that have passed. A lot of people forget that's what the day means. It's not a day to honor the soldiers, it's a day to honor the past soldiers. Let's add some of her red into the top, since we're not really seeing the bottom. Let's add some of the red in there. Cooking Dojo, how's everything going? It's going pretty well. We're just getting into the swing of things today. Just kind of doing some art here by request. Justin, you're a little younger than I am. Do you know Chaotic? Because I have not known it. It was something I missed in the series. Let's do a little bit of the white there as well. I mean, like I said, I watched Evolution because I think it even hit Toonami. But I mean, I watched Evolution. Evolution wasn't bad, but I never saw Chaotic. I think I saw it in passing, but that's about it. Chaotic, it was a show? Yeah, apparently. Okay, so I'm not alone. I'm not alone. It was a show in the 2000s. I think. In the aughts. Those who don't know what an aught is, the 0. I mean, I'd ask you the Charlie Tuna question, but I already asked that earlier, and Damien Angry Birds already knew it, and I figured you'd know it a little bit better being a cook, that you know Charlie Tuna. We're just playing sort of that kind of game. Let's see, where did I put the background on? There it is. Okay. Layer 1. So we're gonna do... I'm gonna do a layer of the green for the start. And we'll work on the way out with that. We're gonna have a little... And we're gonna do the fencing in the background, so I need to do... I missed that one. It was 2006. I had graduated high school. I was working and chasing women. While failing horribly at it. Hey, you caught one. You caught a woman. You're married. You don't get to say you failed at it. You succeeded. You're married, you have kids. There are many people that aren't married and don't have kids. Me included, but other people than just me. And speaking of Married with Children, I don't know why I've been in a kick of rewatching Married with Children, just the gags on YouTube. And there are a lot of people that put them up because it's silly, stupid gags, and you gotta give credit, you know. They knew what they were doing when they brought that show out. I mean, that was hilarious. Right now I'm just kind of zooming through, because I know I have a fence, chain link fence, and I want to do a chain link fence. There we go. It's just a material, so we're just gonna do. I know it's a little bit of a cheat if you're watching and you're like, well, hey, that's a quick way. I eventually did, but the time I failed horribly. Yeah. I imagine. I mean, dating is never easy for anybody. I guess if you're the incredibly hot, rich person that Hollywood says exists in droves, which in reality does not, but the rich hot guy, or the rich amazingly hot woman, then I guess you probably would have success. How's Demon Blade coming along? It's coming along. We're just ended chapter 8. We're going into chapter 9. And with it, there's going to be some very hinted at story. I don't want to go into it too much. Because I want to hide that away. And why did this happen? What happened here? Okay. You go. I'll fix that later. Alright, hold on. Let's do this. I mean, I can show the page I'm working on, but I am not going to explain it. Because I don't want to. This is the page that I'm currently working on in Demon Blade. And she's the reason I don't want to explain it. This character right here, this female character. We've drawn her on the stream before, but I don't want to explain her. But this is a bit of this is literally how the story's beginning in chapter 2. There's going to be a lot of flashbacks, a lot of character development in chapter 2, or in chapter 9. It's literally, that is what this story is going to be. There's very little action. There's going to be very little action. And it's mainly going to be Yoku in action at a few points, but that's about it. Mai's going to get a throw-up punch. Actually, I take it back. So Mai will, get a little bit hissy at one point. Because this is literally falling into Mai's backstory. We're hitting on things that are kind of, that area of territory. And now that I have some free time, I actually can get to work on some of the work you had for me, Justin, so I can finally get back to work on some commissions. And I'm trying to maintain sort of my schedule I had when I was working. I can't reveal where I was working. If people are like, well, where did you work? What's all this nonsense? I can't reveal it. Unfortunately, it is a non-disclosure act involved. It was temporary work for literally not even a month. I didn't even work a full month there, before the work dried up. But because of non-disclosure, I can't reveal what I was doing. Let's make her shadow a little bit lighter. Simply because they don't give her a shadow in the series, or at least a character shadow in the series, from what I've been seeing. Sounds good. I've finally got 2 comics being produced. I know, I've seen you've got 2 of them being produced at the same time. It's great. It's great to see that happening. I'm definitely going to try and push up, at least for the next few weeks, try and push up Demon Blade production, and get the pages out a little faster. I know a lot of people were like, oh, 8 was such a grind. Because it was. It was the first time I kind of went off script immensely. Because it was an original story. It wasn't something that was pre-planned too much. this chapter coming in is one that's been released before, but we're going into a bit more in depth with the characters involved. So it's one that has been seen before. If you read the previous series, in fact, you can go to demonblade.com. You can read the current and the previous series as it airs. The current series and then the previous series as it was. And I'm going to be doing a lot more with the series a little bit. But I'm also, like I said, I'm going to try and do a little bit more stream work. We are starting to get a little bit more notice here on our stream. And it always helps. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this, you're enjoying the series. It helps me. It helps also tell me, you know, hey, do more art ones. Do more art videos. We'd love to see it. I'm not gonna do any with the, and I'll put my foot down. I'm not gonna do another art series that'll show me doing the work that I'm doing for other comics other than Demon Blade. So if it's something that's personal or whatnot, after beginning of the month, I'm finally gonna order the paperback copy of Demon Blade. Good. I'm definitely gonna do something because June is the month for it is the Pride month. June is Pride month, so we're gonna be doing something for June. I just realized I'm missing a lower leg for her here. We'll do something because Demon Blade is Pride comic. It is a trans comic. We'll do something featuring it. So if you're in for Pride Month, you want to support Pride Month, we're going to be doing something. I haven't really done much with Pride. It's a mixed bag with me and Pride. I don't like getting into politics of Pride. And people may be like, well, what do you mean, the politics of Pride? There's literally politics involved in Pride. And I don't like getting into it because it's divisive. And I try to make my series, my comics, and all that entertainable by all audiences. And I don't want to be divisive. That being said, we have to honor Tetsu's trans, right? An important character. So, we do have to note that we have a main character that is trans in the series. We have a gay character in there as well. We have Tetsu's friend, Sarah, her best friend, Sarah. And she is trans as well. I mean, not trans, she's lesbian. I've been debating other characters to be any aspects of GLBT. There is a gay character written for later in the series to appear, but it's not one I want to really promote because he is a villain. So I kind of don't want to push him. That's not to say gay people are villains. No, it's the opposite. It can be villain, but in this case, it's the character is just villainous. That's a form of the water brush. I want the water brush that I'm looking for. That's not it either. I have several water brushes, and I'm trying to find them. And the problem is that a lot of them are in Japanese. Or Chinese, or whatever katakana's up here. At the time. So if you're wondering why I'm going through and clicking these brushes, it's because I'm trying to find which brush I wanted. Okay, probably it's these. Okay. Little bit. Maybe larger. No. Okay, a little bit. That's a little bit of the way. Okay. But yeah, I'll do something for it. I always need to write something important to you. As you know, my wife is heroine of Magic Girl sororities. I found a way to give my son and daughter their own stories. Yeah, that's what I say, when I do the story time, write with what you know, write with who you know, write with what, is close to you. I try to do that with Demon Blade. A lot of the story is based off of stuff that I know, or stories I come across, because Demon Blade is a lot of, based on a lot of legends and stories over the web and across time that have been released. A lot of the characters are based on characters from myth and legend, so to speak. So even Tetsu and Mai are mythical characters, are based on mythical characters or story-driven characters. And I've touched on it before in other streams. Tetsu is based somewhat off of Orlando from the Victoria Woolf novel of the male that changes to a female and changes their life. So Tetsu is very much that character, but a little bit also with other forms and characters through history and story. Kyle's a little bit of Dandelion if you've watched The Witcher, a little bit of other bards through history and story. Mai is very much based off the Ice Queen story from Hans Christian Andersen. And it's based a little bit off of Thumbelina, a little bit off of other characters as well. It's just kind of, I wanted to give them each personalities as they go. Let's see here, we want to give them a little bit blue there. Okay. And actually, I'm going to start. Fun fact, Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, stories and inspiration behind Frozen. Kind of. Frozen took a lot of liberties to Hans Christian Andersen's Snow Queen. A lot of liberties. It is the basis of Frozen, yes. But the fact is the Snow Queen involves a boy, and it does not involve a sister. The queen dies in the end, so the queen does not live. So there's a lot of loose basis on. Disney kind of hung real loose on that fun fact, Anderson. Snow Queen. It was based on Snow Queen. They really hung loose on that title. It's it's about a boy that shows a cold-hearted woman the meaning of love. It is about that. So, I mean, the ending is somewhat true, but Frozen was actually a lot different in its first stages. Most Disney adapted fairy tales took a lot of liberties because they would not be damn straight. Little Mermaid, Ariel would have been dead. Her tail would have been split, and she would have been dead. The Miss Tremaine in Cinderella, we've done Cinderella. She would have been danced to death under hot coals on her feet. Not exactly the most pleasant of stories. Disney does take a lot of liberties to their stories. I love them, God bless it, but Disney does take a lot of liberties with the stories. Pinocchio, I mean, we kind of talked about it before. I want to see a true Pinocchio. Where Pinocchio is an asshole. That is the theory of Pinocchio. I think Cinderella's stepsisters had their eyes pecked out by crows. Yes. They did. The stepsisters had their eyes pecked out by crows. They did not get a nice... Occasionally they got some nice setups, but the mother got the worst of it in Cinderella. The stepmother got the worst. The initial Cinderella also had the father being part of the problem. Cinderella's dad was still alive in the original Cinderella. The original, I think, German adaptation before Hans Christian Andersen got it. Before the Brothers Grimm got it. Fairy tales are very, very dark. That's why I mean, you're going to be seeing series and stories in Demon Blade. They're not just fairy tales. They're myths and legends. Because I know at one point I want to show blade users of the around the world. I have one planned for India. I have one planned for Africa, and one planned for Asia. Thinking about Pinocchio, you see Pinocchio's story is a faithful Disney version upcoming Netflix adaptation. Neither. No, neither is because they make it a happy story. Pinocchio is an asshole. Pinocchio was written to be a cautionary tale of don't be this way. Pinocchio kills Jiminy Cricket. He pretty much gets his dad killed twice. He is a total freaking asshole. The moral of Pinocchio, according to its creator, is to don't be this kid. Which is what most of those children's stories were. They were cautionary tales. Don't behave this way or you'll end up like this kid. It's a lot easier to give you a fictional representation than it was to, say, oh, well, here's little Johnny down the street. He didn't go to sleep or eat his vegetables, so he got his, eyes pecked out by crows when he went out and sleep. They're not meant to be happy tales. I have the full collection of Hans Christian Andersen on audiobook, and a lot of his stories. Now, given Hans Christian Andersen was a very Christian writer, given his name, he was a very Christian author. He had very, very religious elements to his stories. I'm trying to see where I put those damn spots. I put them there. Okay. I wanted to get rid of them. He wanted to tell morals that were found within Christianity. And so, a lot of Hans Christian Andersen's stories, a lot of his lessons that he gave children were answers to Christianity. Not to say they're bad things. Some of his stories are pretty notable. But yeah, a lot of his stories, and maybe I'll start doing some of his stories on story time. Maybe that might not be a bad idea to do some of the original fairy tales stories. Actually, I don't have them audio tape. I have them on Kindle. That's what I have them on. And I've been reading through them that way. But yeah, there's never been appropriate Pinocchio. There's never been an appropriate Frozen. I think original Frozen, Elsa was the villain for the original Frozen. Hans being the villain came in, I think, like the third installment that they did. So sort of that's kind of why, when you see Kingdom Hearts 3, and you see the sort of broken concept of the story arc for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Frozen, it's because they were really literally writing Frozen at the time of the development of the game. And they changed the theme of Frozen midway. And so a lot of the story elements that were part of Frozen got changed in Kingdom Hearts after. It's part of the reason why Frozen, or why the game was delayed, honestly. So if you're wondering why Kingdom Hearts 3 got delayed, it's partly Frozen. It's fault. Now, I mean, there are ways to tell a good story through, you know, fairy tales, but yeah. Thanks, Frozen. Yeah, thanks, Frozen. I think part of the reason why people enjoy Frozen 2 over Frozen 1 is the concept that was given in Frozen Frozen 1, that it was such a mismatch. And Frozen 2 was more of an original story, a little bit. It had a little bit more to do with Norse mythology. And people enjoyed it more that way. But yeah, the concept that people give that Frozen is the Snow Queen, it's not. Is that to say that I'm hinting that Mai will die in the end of Demon Blade? No. I am not hinting that. She is based on the Snow Queen, but there's another character based on the Snow Queen as well. In the series a little bit. And I definitely will go more into the series as we go into it. I love going into different stories. There's literally a character I really want to introduce. That's a long way coming. I really want to introduce him. But he's based off of the world's greatest swordsman. And you probably have never heard of this guy. Chances are, it is the most hidden concept. This guy is probably... He's the inventor of fencing. So if you're wondering who he is, he's the inventor of fencing. And why he's the greatest swordsman over anybody else is the number of people he's defeated. He's defeated more than Miyamoto Musashi. And he never lost. That's another thing. Yeah, a lot of people are like, what? What? There's someone better than Musashi? Yeah. There's the world's greatest swordsman. He's the creator of fencing. He is. There's a legend about him. And he's going to be a very important character later in Demon Blade. But, I don't want to reveal too much about him. His character-wise is going to be hilarious. With each new character, I'm trying to be a little bit more development in the character's personality. That's why if you read the last page of the last 2 pages of the latest chapter, you got to see Ruth's father, Frank, who's going to play a little bit more of a role through the series. And he's the overprotective dad. I wanted to have an overprotective dad. He's very much, he's very much. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. The character from Full Metal Alchemist, the major. Not Kiroki Saki. Nope, that is not Sasuke. Nope, not Sasuke. It's not a Japanese person. It is a person in fencing, not in Japan. So Demon Blade, a lot of Demon Blade is not just Japan. Now, a lot of it takes place in Japan, or in the US. You're gonna see elements of US myths coming into play. I have a werewolf story involved that plays into Native American lore. Not Armstrong. No, the father, the one overly fatherly one, the one that dies. That Hughes. Was it Hughes? No, it's Hughes. Yes, Hughes. Major Hughes. The one that Mace Hughes. Yeah, Mace Hughes. The one that dies. He's very much Ruth's father is Mace Hughes. I wanted to have sort of the overly protective father, and you get to see that character come into play, and with good reason. You'll learn that Ruth was in the hospital because her mother died protecting her. So this is a man who's lost both his wife and almost lost his daughter at the same time. So he's very protective of his daughter. So in writing him, I'm like, oh well, he needs to be that kind of father that's overly protective. And so it's like, oh, the last joke of chapter 8 has to be him yelling that they're gonna keep his daughter awake, which was the joke. And yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy bringing it together a little bit there. We're just gonna put a background. I'm just gonna do a quick building in the background. What the hell is all that? I don't know what any of that is. They just uploaded a lot of new stuff into and like I said, it's the 10th anniversary of Clip Paint. So they've added a lot of new stuff. I'm gonna add the city transparent in the background, which is something we're gonna download while we're doing the stream. But it's a nice little quick add-on. But yeah, I mean, a lot of history. I have an idea for a character based off of Sazi, from African lore. I have a character based off of, really obscure lore. I want to go to places that we don't see, films and animation go into. And so that's why I'm looking at lore that you don't see regularly in film and animation, and I'm using that in the Demon Blade. So you're gonna get elements of characters from those environments that you're not gonna see elsewhere. There we go. Da, da. Let's add a little bit more color to that sky. We don't. The sky is not a straight blue. Let's add a little bit more color to it. One of the things I do find interesting, if you can see it here, it's a palette mixer that they've added that I want to be looking into, but I don't know how to use it yet. They just added it, and it's like, that looks cool. I want to add that. Or I want to use that, but I don't know how to yet. So, yeah. Alright. Getting a little bit of a touchy there. There we go. I think we're pretty much done with tonight. And the concept was just to draw the two of them. So I mean, I think we got the two of them down pretty well. Next Dining and Doodles will be going back to the futuristic world. Yes, we're gonna be doing your rotary, or the captain, or what was it, the Doc Ock, sort of Doctor Strange Doc Ock mix that you got there, Damien. Yeah. But yeah, let's go in here. So one of the things I will kind of reveal, what's the weirdness that's going on here. You're seeing fire get frozen. And for those who want to say, scientifically, that can't happen, it can. It can. It's a very, very, very difficult thing. Mankind would not be able to create it. But on paper, it's possible. It's a possible thing. What it is the carbon and the oxygen are getting frozen at the exact pinpoint of cold to go from gas to solid. And it shows that you have to have such an immense of cold to do that you freeze fire. Roddy's based on RoboCop. Sorry, Lee, didn't say that. No problem. Alright, so it's RoboCop. I was trying to remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, we'll be doing yours next week. I know there's a couple. I need to do an update coming up soon of what's coming out in the next few weeks. Because we're getting into the end of the list and we're getting into summer. And I want to do some summer works that we've not done before. There's some stories that are coming to an end that are even Patreon requests coming to an end. I don't know if we have any more to the costume shop, which ended last week publicly, and this week we have the Teacher's Punishment. We're currently having an issue with the creator of Teacher's Punishment being able to get to me, notify me of what they're wanting the next punishment to be. So we're going to be working through that. But the double up pages are going to start coming to an end of that. I had one request that kind of went and gone, but we're going to still do one. We're going to have a Green Lightning add-on for One Piece as 1 week coming up. Not for Dining and Doodles. For Dining and Doodles, we have a couple. We had a request for Cars and them, their personal character, but I didn't get their personal character from them. So I'm gonna try and look back on the comment and add that. It'll definitely be interesting to do Cars. I usually don't do mechanics or machines. Out of just habit. It's a lot of work. And to do Cars, Disney, you're going cartoony with the machines and mechanics. But it was a request, so we'll definitely be adding that. So this is supposed to be fire, and it's freezing over, and Tetsu's making a notice. And yeah, it's Tetsu, long-haired Tetsu. I figured something out as I've been drawing it, that, like Tetsu's clothing, Tetsu's hair does not change when he changes back. So his hair, last time we saw him, was in girl form and long. So Tetsu's gonna have long hair at the beginning of the chapter. He's gonna cut it in the chapter and go back to his traditional short hair. Or do something with it. I don't know. I'm not fully planned with the hair or the look of Tetsu yet for the issue. All I'm doing is Tetsu in their sleep clothes, which are just pajamas based off my own pajamas. And this is based off of what she was wearing in episode 1, at the beginning of issue 1. So, in case you didn't notice, it's a flashback to my having her heart ripped out and when it happened. I mean, yeah, basically, when creating a story, it's always a nice thing, sort of go, not only, and I kind of, it's one of the things I don't like to read much fan fiction of, or original stories from people that it's just like, oh, well, it's based off of this character, or Norse mythology, or, Roman mythology doesn't really get me that much. I get that people love the stories of Zeus and Odin and Thor and Loki. I get it. They're classic characters told through time. But there's so many other legends out there. I'm going into Slavic characters and stories in Demon Blade. I'm going into characters from, like I said, Hindu gods and stories. Lessons from Native Americans. I'd love to see more of those. I sent a future D&D suggestion, something related to Embryos. Go on Embryos chat. Okay, no problem. I'll look into that. I always really, if you, and see, there's Damien adding something right there. If you got something, and you're watching this video afterwards, leave it in the comments section of this video, and I'll definitely add it to my list. These are definitely getting a lot more views. We're getting a lot more people watching the Dining and Doodles. People are also watching our Let's Plays. We had a lot of people chime in on our playthrough of New Vegas last week, which we'll be back to tomorrow night. Like I said, we're going to do it at 6. We're going to do it 6 to midnight. We're going to do 6 hours of New Vegas tomorrow. We're also continuing our playthrough of Persona Royale. I might do Ni no Kuni. That's why I love Greek mythology. I always wanted to see some besides Greek and Norse. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mythology that people don't cover. And it's one of the things I wanted to do with Demon Blade. There's going to be elements of Japanese mythology when they go back to Japan. There's going to be the legend of Orochi coming to play. But played out through a different form. And those who don't know the legend of Orochi, the wind god and the princess, the 8 princesses and whatnot, that's going to be coming to play. It was actually started in chapter 3. We actually started the elements of that story in chapter 3. It shows how much of a long game I'm trying to play this game, in this comic. There's an element that element won't come into play until much later in the series, but it's an element that started in chapter 3. We also in chapter 4 or 5, I'm trying to remember, 4. In chapter 4, we got introduced to, like I said, we had a gay character introduced. The English guy that you see for literally 2 panels. That says he wants, the taste of Blade Master's blood. He's gay. That character's gay. When he gets introduced, not too much further down the line. I mean, we got to get through this story. We got to get through Homecoming and and the Spring Fever story arc, which is Mai's father coming into play. Mai and Ino's father coming into play. Both have been done before in the original Demon Blade release of 2013. The story after that we would have that character appearing briefly. He's not the main villain of the story arc, but he is. There's going to be a chapter with him appearing, and being a villain of an arc of a story. He's going to be one of the ongoing villains representing the other weapons. Because yes, they're other bladed weapons, based off of curses and legends through history. And I would research, German, I'd search Latin, I'd search, a little bit of, Hispanic culture. All different stories of weapons supposedly cursed through history. So yeah, and you just do kind of things like that. Basically being engaged with the character. Yeah, when I write a character, I kind of try to want to think out their quirks, and it's not just any character. Like I was saying earlier with Frank, he's a overprotective father, and he has his reasons because he lost his wife, he almost lost his daughter. He's not going to play that major of a role. He's going to be a minor character throughout the series, but he's going to be there. And, whenever Ruth comes into play, you're more than likely going to see Frank. And he's just going to be that sort of awkward dad that he wants to keep his daughter at a young age. That's another thing, a quirk of his. He feels his daughter's overly growing up. And that he's missing out on being called, daddy and holding his little girl. So you'll see him constantly correct her. Well, that post above, I forgot about those things. Not a problem. But yeah, I mean, it's being he's being protective of her, but he also doesn't want to see her grow up. He's pretty much he wants her to be a daddy's girl. And she's growing up. She's becoming, a young adult. And he misses that. And it's kind of sad. Each of the characters, I try to think through, what's their quirk? What do they enjoy? And that's something you do. I mean, it's, as a creator, if you really want to make your characters engaging, you need to think through, hey, what elements of this character are we dealing with? Tetsu, one of the things I always come back to now and then, and we got a slight hint at the end of 8 that people always forget. Tetsu's money hungry. Tetsu loves money. So when I write Tetsu and money's involved, Tetsu's thinking of money. So, Tetsu's got that little quirk. You just think it through. Kyle, of course, has his, fascination with Tetra. And you'll see more and more of that as the story comes through. He becomes very, very attached to Tetra and latches onto her. To the point of the annoyance of Tetsu. While it's, a nice relationship, they're still, gonna have their little quirks and annoyances. So I mean, yeah, you think those through when you create a character. It helps develop a character, it helps develop a personality. And it doesn't just have to be if you're playing, writing a story or doing a comic or making an animated series. I mean, D&D. I've been getting in a lot of watching D&D playthroughs. Especially with Critical Role, but I've seen a few others out there. Yeah, I mean, the same concept. It's, if you play D&D, your character is, elements of you, or has some story or background. I'm running a D&D game right now with some friends. We're playing a very Konosuba-esque D&D game that I'm running. And there's a lot of information my players do not know, but I've written a lot of background information on them. Actually, I did that. I just did those flames in a bad place, because I did them on the wrong layer. All right. Oh, nope, went too far. There we go. I need to do the flames like on, not on that layer, on this layer. Okay. Okay. See, to do flames, I'm just doing this one brush here, and it kind of gives me this jagged look. Actually, I don't like how that one's going. That one's fine, but let's do something a little bit different. There we go. So yeah, I mean, elements to think through. I mean, always think through your characters. Think through what you want to develop. And I mean, like I said, D&D, it helps. I've played a lot of D&D in the past. I've played a lot of role-playing games in general. And it helps build concepts for characters. Especially if you're writing and whatnot. It's great to have something like that. Because you get a nice tool to do it. And see what I'm doing right now is just adding that glow of flames. And then we're going to go through and add the ice in a bit. Approaching on it. And going back into it, like I said, it's possible. The concept of flames being frozen, it's possible. It's very, very difficult math. You're looking at the concept of below 0 point. And I mean, 0 point is like the absolute zero freezing point. Where you have to get to the point where atoms are getting frozen. And so the atoms are getting frozen at such an amazing rate that the flames are getting frozen. It is possible. Scientifically, it is possible. It's just really, really difficult. And there's no way, at least known to science as is now, for humanity to get frozen flames. But to have a villain be like, I come in, I do something like freeze fire. Oh, that's such a great development moment. Just be like, oh yeah, there's a character that's so villainous. They have so much power that they're able to do something beyond what science understands. And that's what we're doing here. We're having a very villainous moment of freezing fire. And you're wondering what this black stuff is. It's supposed to be a tree. Burnt up. You'll see later in the story arc as it goes through with this homecoming story. That Yoku and his vengeance or his moment of taking Mai, he set a forest on fire in the middle of winter. Because Mai's weakness is fire. We've already approached that. She can't handle heat, she can't handle fire. So he used her weakness to his advantage. So I'm just doing some, like, burnt up trees. In the background, they're gonna be frozen at the top, or frozen about. So yeah. Just some like real quick burnt trees. We can probably do another one back here. It'll be like a pine forest before the fire starts, and then afterwards be all just burnt. Hell, speaking of fire characters, there's a fire character coming through in Demon Blade, and eventually that is Hawaiian in nature. It's kind of based off of Pele, kind of a little bit of a story of fire and volcanoes. So I mean, it's another example that you're gonna have a character that's a fire character eventually. That's gonna be based off of a culture that you don't really see. A little bit we've seen it with, of course, with Disney's Moana. We've seen Hawaiian culture a little bit there, and of course also with a little bit with Lilo and Stitch as well. Hawaiian culture, one of the things, I mean, when I went to Maui years ago with my family, out of all the souvenirs, I came back with a Legends of Hawaiian Myth and Legends book. That's what I asked for. That's what I wanted. Instead of, some sort of tiki torch, object or something. I took the Legends of Myths and Legends of Hawaii with me. Because it's stuff that I love. Adding real simple ice structures. And it doesn't look like much, but I mean, with white, it's gonna have to be some silverishy hewn, which is what I'm gonna be doing here. Which I have not really seen how well some of the ice has come out. I've seen a few pictures from my friends that have gotten the print version of Demon Blade. I have not gotten a print quality from Amazon myself yet, which is odd considering it's my own book. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how well the print came out. Let's put it that way. I don't know how well the print came out on certain things. From what I've seen, it looks decent, but I question certain things. What we're gonna do, add some more elements to it, but we're gonna add that is the latest. Okay, let's do dark. Nope. Dark there. I'm really digging this music. It's kind of nice, light music. Again, I hate to see us, get a copyright strike on it, or a copyright notice on it, but I mean, it's possible. If you're not hearing any sound from this entire stream, I guess it's got the copyright on it. We've gotten it before with Twitch because of the background music. YouTube has not been a problem with the background here. It's been more an issue with like us playing Final Fantasy games. And if you want to hear it on completely undisturbed, we got it on Rumble. So, yeah. Rumble seems to do fine without giving us much of a problem on anything. yeah, we're just doing a nice little sort of add on to this little maybe a little bit more dark. And add a little silvery. Something like that, where the fire is being frozen, and you can see it being frozen. As the panel before it, it's all fire, and now you're seeing ice build up on it, and then you're starting to see the ice really build. And then by the time you see mine down here, you can see the flames are frozen solid. And so, I mean, it's elements of, I want to show hot and cold regularly through, especially when dealing with I want to do it. Alright. That being said, we are in the last 10 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and get us straight to our sponsor for the evening. We're going to go ahead and pull this up to as best I can for up here for our finished drawing. Alright, we're going to go on to our sponsor tonight, which is Built Bar. I have a Built Bar right here. You can kind of hear me rustling the bag. I have it on the side here because I'm going to have one in a bit, actually, probably right after I get off stream. And I'm going to be enjoying it because it's something I love to have. It's real dark chocolate with actual flavors, but they're low sugar, low calorie, low carb. And that is one of the key things here. This is not a regular candy bar. This is not your regular protein bar. They focus on flavor first and taste and flavor first and calories and nonsense second. But they still do it well above everyone else. Everyone else usually has even higher sugar counts. Your protein bars have huge amounts of sugar, huge amount of carbs, and candy bars way off the scale compared to them. I mean, you absolutely will come to love these bars. Damien's tried them. We've had them on before. Damien's loves the mint brownie bar, which is down there on our promotional list here. They have the grasshopper cookie right now back for limited time. They also have the wonderful bonus coming out. So honestly, if you go on there tonight, tonight, 5/28. Right now, if you go to built.com and go in, buy something, you are going to get a much greater discount than you will even normally. And even more so when you use the promo code EmbryArts, you'll get an even greater discount. I guarantee you, you will love these things. They are coming to Sam's Club to be regularly sold. I think it's going to be the coconut and the mint brownie are going to be regularly sold in Sam's Clubs. So if you're a Sam's Club, purchaser, you go there, you check them out, you want to buy, a couple of bars, they have them there. But you're going to get a better deal going to their website. I guarantee it. You're going to get a better deal going to your website. And if you use the promo code EmbryArts, you'll get an even better deal. These are absolutely delicious. I cannot stand by it. We asked them to be a promotional tool on the series because, we don't have promoters. We don't have other people knocking down the door to get ads with us yet. But we do have our connection with Built Bar, and it's because I absolutely love them, and I speak the truth with them. Like I said, I'm going to be enjoying this one. I'm having a Ruby Puff, which I don't know if they have them still or not. It's a ruby chocolate. It's a very fruity chocolate. But it tastes like a marshmallow and chocolate, and it is delicious. And I'll be eating that right as we end this stream tonight. I just didn't want to eat while on stream because it sounds kind of weird. You might hear me do it tomorrow while we do our stream. But I'd probably definitely will be eating a bar then. But I thank you all for joining in. This has been a wonderful setup. I definitely want to thank Cooking Dojo and Damien Angry Birds for joining in and being part of our chat today. We had a nice long chat today while we did things. I want to thank a few other people. Nemesis YouTube, I want to thank you for your sponsorship. You were one of our latest sponsors. I hadn't really done a shout out yet to thank you. And yeah, if you want to keep following us, we do these projects each and every week. Like and comment, subscribe to the channel. Definitely to push this series, we do these arts by request. I mean, this is not us doing these our choice. We've done a few on our choice, but we're doing these mostly by request. So yeah, if you have something you want to request, by all means, comment below or follow us on the socials. Comment, message us, and be like, "Hey, I want something requested on Dining and Doodles." You know, we'll do it. If you have a story you want us to read on Storytime, we'll do that as well. Like I said, I think I'm going to start doing some of Hans Christian Andersen's and some of the other myths and legends that you don't really hear all that present. We'll go into some classic myths and legends that people haven't heard. And we'll probably do some of those start on Storytime. I'll do those all on and off with Fan Fiction Weekly. And probably do some of our original, because we are kind of lining up where we're caught up to Maid versus Mobster, or Mobster X Maid Girl. So we're gonna have to switch between that, 11 Kingdoms, and original content or content that you all want. You know, let us know. Until then, I thank you always joining in. Have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful week, and have a wonderful year. Good night, everybody.